You know, Revival he continues to go for these lean roach type aggression moves, and it obviously did not work out how he planned in that last game. It was close, but Hero able to come up with that defense. So we'll have to see how both these players approach this very unique map of Neo, Planet S, where anything can happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 5 of the WCS America Final. In the top right-hand location, I present to you the Red Protoss player went undefeated in the round of 32 and the round of 16 of WCS America, losing his first game to Alicia in the round of 8, taking out Ryung to get to this point. Representing Team Liquid, he is Hero. His opponent, in the bottom left-hand location of Neo Planet S, taking the first 2 games in this series, but falling in the next 2. Can he stop his opponent's streak and bring it back to his side of the court? Representing Team Evil Geniuses, he is Revival. Hero doing stuff a little bit differently this game.
That's right. Hero, instead of building that first pylon at the entryway to his natural and going for the forge expand, the first pylon is in his main base. Going for the gateway opening. Just going to mix things up a bit. Revival. Let's see how he opens. Is he going to try to get that hatchery down early or just go for the... Looks like he's going to try to go hatchery first, but the probe is already there to block it. Revival sees that. Is he going to build a spawning pool, or is he just going to try to force down the hatchery?
Looks like for now trying to micro a little bit. No, he's going to put down that spawning pool right away.
And the spawning pool is a little bit later than it would be ideally.
Yep.
It was about 100 minerals late, and that's because he was planning to go for that hatchery first opening. Of course, he's still going to throw down the hatchery.
Is he going to take that one up there?
I think he has to. One of the big problems is if you go for the hatchery first, and then they block you, so you end up getting the spawning pool. Your spawning pool is late, so if they continue to block you, if they put a pylon down there, the only way to kill a pylon is, of course, wait for the Zerglings to come out.
Sure.
And that's going to be even later because your spawning pool was later than it would normally be. So all these things will slow you down. You pretty much have to just go in and get that hatchery down wherever you can get it down. Revival taking the left third base.
Right now, Revival just now spotting the lack of a pylon, lack of a forge, lack of a nexus at his opponent's natural expansion. Gonna usher on over into the main base to find out exactly what's going on. Now, typically, you know, some Zerg players seeing the gateway opening, the gateway expansion, or the expansion likely opening, they'll drop a gas fairly soon to make sure they can get speed out, so they're relatively safe against early game shenanigans, because it's definitely more likely when your opponent opens up with that gateway and that core. Of course, they're going to get warp gate much sooner than if they're going for a forge fast expand. So you have to be wary of those little 3-gate, 4-gate, timing pushes.
That's right. We see Hero getting that nexus down, then starting the warp gate, then starting the mothership core. Revival going for that gas, like you mentioned. He wants to get speed out as soon as possible to deal with early proxy pylons, early stalkers poking around his base, and taking full control of the map until the Protoss can get enough units to really push back speedings.
Mothership core will typically be sent across the map just to try to scout what your opponent is doing, be annoying towards that third hatchery. Of course, you don't want to lose that Mothership core early, so you got to be careful not to overextend towards Queens or anything, so you can have that recall a little bit later if you so choose. Now, we'll have to see what Hero puts in his wall here. You know, some Protoss players will elect to put down additional gateways, exclusively gateways, and again, try to go for that gateway pressure. And we see a pylon being made here at the bottom right-hand side of the map. Revival needs to be able to identify this. However, I'm a little bit confused about this pylon location because he knows his opponent's third was at the middle left, so I feel like it would be more likely to try to put a pylon in the top left rather than the bottom right.
That is true, but that's also exactly what Revival is thinking. He has a Zergling patrolling every spot in that top left area, and so... Hero's saying, you know what, the bottom right's the least likely spot to get scouted.
Gosh.
He's trying to go proxy Stargate, but as we see there's a Zergling that currently is set to scout that area. This could be disastrous for Hero if this gets spotted.
Okay, if this Ling does not deviate his path, he will run right into that proxy Stargate, and that will be gigantic. First of all, he could probably kill the pylon before anything comes out of that Stargate.
He could definitely call in a couple Zergling friends to help him out on that. In fact, 8 more Zerglings currently being produced.
He's going to do it.
I mean, Hero's just going to have to change his build. I wouldn't be surprised if he can cancel.
Well, it might finish before he can cancel it.
You're right. The route the Zerglin is going on.
Oh, what?
It's changed his
route. He changed it. Oh, my God. Revival.
He didn't check.
You had it, man.
I think he's checked every square millimeter of this map except for a small section.
It was, I mean, we can understand it was a random scribble that he made down there, but it was in pathing of that Stargate. Would have seen it.
And then he's like, this random scribble doesn't make sense. I mean, he fixed this scribble.
He made it more optimal, sure, but he didn't. That's like one dark spot in this map, and that's where the Stargate is.
Revival sees only a single warp gate at the front of the base that may tell him something fun is going on, because typically Protoss will add a second and third gateway very quickly. So he's getting the spores. He thinks airplay is likely. But if there's enough oracles, they could even just kill so many drones.
You think Hero will just store him up?
He might. He's waiting for 2. Very interesting play from Hero. You know, I haven't seen a proxy oracle build versus Zerg for quite a long time. It's really gone out of fashion, which is why Hero's bringing it back, because it's like no one would ever think that I would go proxy Stargate, collect a bunch of oracles. And because it's such a rare build, he's saying, all right, we'll break it out. But oracles aren't particularly great against spore cores. He's going to have to find a way to either get enough oracles to overpower it, or just kill drones and keep microing oracles back before the spore can kill them off.
3 oracles can just demolish a mineral line if you're not paying attention for a second. 3 oracles is the number. Revival still has no idea. However, getting close to that Overlord.
Oh, is he going to see it?
Oh,
no.
Barely sees it. Barely sees it. Barely sees it.
He does see it. Theme 3, he immediately builds more spore cores.
3 oracles heading straight for his opponent's main base. How much damage can these get done?
Oh,
what are they going to target? The spore. You got to target the spore. Pull away the weakened one. That's exactly what he's doing. Oh no, the oracle gets taken out. This is going to be completely shut down.
With the second queen coming in there, adding more damage output. Also, even if he killed the spore, there's 2 more on the way.
Yeah.
Trying to find a more vulnerable base, but remember, every second that goes by, he has less and less energy on those oracles. Zergling's going to take out the Stargates before Phoenix can be built. Trying to pick away a few drones from the natural, but he's now out of energy on one of the oracles. There's only 1 oracle left.
He invested a lot into those guys, too.
So now we're finding out why this is a rare build. It's just, if this Zerg gets a spore core, pulls their second queen, Mothership Core trying to get in there and do something of its own.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, Revival is in great position this game.
Absolutely. I mean, great game sense, too. I mean, it's not like he knew that was coming. It's just he played with the likelihood that it could come, right? Where he set up those spore callers initially. He's like, okay, something weird could be happening. Let's start preparing for something weird, rather than let's start preparing for 3 oracles coming in my main base. And it worked out.
That's right. 1 spore caller is a very minor investment. You think it might be DT Rush, might be Phoenix Harass, and it could always be the oracles. And in fact, it was. The spore callers defended well. Now he's going to the Roach Hydra composition. And Hero's going to be stuck with 2 choices. Does he go for just some heavy 2-base play? I think he's going to look to take a 3rd here. And now comes the question, how can he defend it? Well, if his force fields are good, he should be able to do pretty good against Roach Hydra, although being behind, maybe Roach Hydra can hit enough numerical advantage. It can overwhelm a Sentry-based combination. And in fact, Revival, no infestation pit. He's really going to be banking on just being able to overrun Hero by sheer weight of numbers. And given the fact that he does have the 3rd base up for such a long time, he may be able to make that actually happen.
It's one of those things where Revival is going to invest a good amount and try to be aggressive.
Oh, so important. Oh, you know, even though it looks like it's going to get away.
That's a lot of energy, though.
And actually, it's not going to get away.
Would you rather it die there, honestly? I mean, how much does it start with?
50, so
okay,
you'd never rather it die.
Yeah.
But he's letting it go, actually. A Mothership Core is slower than Hydra's, even Hydra's without speed off creep. He could have easily ran it down and killed it, but I think he was afraid of overextending into the Gateway Army of Hero. Either way, though, much less energy on that Mothership Core, and that's going to be super important as Revival goes for this pressure.
Revival taking the gold base, going to engage at the top side of the map. Colossus taking a single shot there. The army got to be watchful of what happens there. Revival sees the Colossus, trying to decide, okay, do I want to go for it? Sticking back for now. Trying to take that 4th base, the gold location.
Now he's taking a very late Spire, so he's realizing that if my opponent has sentries, I can't really do much with just Roach Hydras.
Unless you get a great surround and you're on creep.
Oh, he's looking for it. Is Hero going to overextend and get hit from 2 sides?
Has to be careful. Look at this. Revival's going to go for it, but the force field's going down, and they're pretty darn good. Wow, great force fields here from Hero, keeping those Hydras away, and he's going to deal with everything with ease that's near his army. Of course, now he can choose to back up if he wants. That's exactly what he's going to do. Great control there from Hero.
Amazing gameplay by Hero so far. This is why, even though, yes, he started behind, because Revival just didn't tack, if you're stuck on Roach Hydra against anything with sentries, you're going to be in a rough spot against a player like Hero who has immaculate force field control.
Wow, Hero. Great force fields, great play throughout these last 3 games. And now the question is, what is the next step here for Revival? Securing that 4th base in the middle, I feel like that's not... I don't... Has Hero spotted that? I'm not...
Hero's trying to see what his
No, he
opponent's up
hasn't seen it
to.
yet. He hasn't seen the gold base yet.
Phoenix flew all over the main bases, trying to see the drone saturation and key tech buildings. The Oracles are going to see this new base at the bottom.
Yeah?
These Oracles, I don't know how much they have a decent... Oh, Revelation. That's a great use of energy on those Oracles. Of course, Revelation means he's going to know where that Hydra Force is. And Neoplanetus is a map where if you get caught off guard defending a top path, your opponent shows up at the bottom and catches you off guard, you can lose the game. Vice versa with the other path. So Revelation able to keep track.
Why would you send... He just sent his army that was seen by Hero to his base that was, at that point, unseen by Hero.
I think he wanted to let Hero know how much trouble he was in. He's like, you know what? I've got the gold. Look at this. I got the gold. You're in trouble. And now, actually, he's attacking the right side with some speed, and he's going to take that out. But Hero now is going to try to move right into gold. A little bit hesitant because this is a very open area.
Unless he's trying to bait him in there. You know, Hero has to be wondering, too, dude, why'd you show me that? He's going to take it out and back up. Revival going to try to take advantage here, coming forward. The force field should be going down soon. There they go. The Colossi trying to turn around, but the Corruptors going to try to engage her. There's only one Colossus in this composition, and a flank coming in from the north here from Revival. Revival trying to come in from every direction. He's up 192 to 124, taking out the Colossi. That went really well for Revival.
It went great. He's up by a lot of food. A lot of the food is sunk into Corruptors, though, which aren't too useful. He also did lose his middle gold base. There's a counter. His new 4th base is being counterattacked by Zealots across the bottom. He's got to get some damage done right now.
Yeah, he's going straight for that 3rd base. That hatchery at the bottom might end up falling, but Hero has a decently defensive position, of course. The natural is not going to be as well defended, so Hero's going to be spread out quite a bit here, dealing with this Roach, Hydra, Corruptor, Wings of Liberty type army that you don't see too much anymore.
And it's pushing in here. Hero has the high ground, but he has very low on force field. Revival not wanting to go up that ramp, instead saying, you know what? You come into the open. I'll fight you in the open. If you don't come down in the open, I'm going to kill your natural.
There's no Colossi in production anywhere. Hero's only making Immortals. I'm a little bit confused by this.
Well, there's a billion Corruptors.
Because all the Corruptors, so I guess that's his only hope to...
Yeah. I mean, the thing is...
Well, I mean, he only had one Colossus early, which is, I guess, just from the beginning he made that decision?
I think it was kind of smart, trying to get Revival to overreact.
Yeah.
And Revival has done it. He's up by 50 food, but so much of that food is useless. And the important thing is he doesn't really need the Colossi. As long as his force fields are good and the army sizes are relatively even, the Roach Hydra force is going to be in trouble. Hero, though, on to creep. Not a whole ton of force field energy.
Gotta be careful. Of course, here come the Hydras and the Lings. We've got corruption going on the Stalkers as well. Nice little flank here from Revival as well. Always so good about those flanks. The Stalkers trying to blink back, trying to blink away. Immortals getting up close and personal as well. But Hero putting up a good fight, going to continue backing up, but Revival going to try to pursue a little bit.
And Immortals are too slow. The Sentries are too slow as well. They've got to lay down some force fields. Very low on energy, though. I think he's only got about 3 force fields in the competition. There goes 2. But so many sentries being picked off there.
Yeah, Hero going to turn around. He's going to try to engage, but as you said, a couple of Immortals getting taken out, a couple of sentries as well. Units lost is 10,000 to, pretty much 10,000. Pretty much even at this point in time.
Revival.
Still anyone's game.
Revival's retaking that gold base. And important thing to note, both players have really had a hard time establishing a 4th base. This late in the game, the mains are pretty much are running very, very low. We see Hero's main and Revival's both very low in minerals, and Natural's running low as well. Both players are going to be looking to establish 4th bases or deny their opponent's 4th. Hero doesn't really have an easy way to set up a 4th base. Neoplanetus, a very hard map to defend both a 3rd and a 4th at the same time against an opponent who has the creep spread that Revival has out on this map.
Absolutely. And back in the Colossi, Hero is going 2 Colossi on the field at a time, or being produced at a time. Thermal Lance on the way as well. We see Pathogen Glands on the way here, so going into Infestors is Revival. Looks like an engagement happening. The Stalkers can just blink away, so they're not going to be too worried.
That, of course, is exactly why he's just using the Stalkers, trying to keep the creep back,
yeah.
Not wanting a direct engagement. If he had the Zealot Sentries, other units aren't as fast. He pushes them forward. The Zerg units can run him down and catch him up, but the Blink Stalkers can keep pushing that creep back and blink away if the Zerg threatens an engagement.
Now, can Revival identify the double Colossi production? Hero is hiding them a little bit further back behind his main armor. Got 3 Colossi in that little clump back there. No additional Corruptors coming out here for Revival. Has to be very careful. You don't want to isolate those Corruptors either, because then the Stalkers can just blink underneath, take them out, and there's still going to be Colossi on the field. But it looks like Hero coming forward. Revival setting up a lot of Spine Crawlers.
Revival trying to go for Hive. Once Infestors and Vipers to help support this army. Heroes pushing forward. 4 Colossi. Plenty of sentries with a lot of energy.
Oh, the Corruptors coming forward. The Stalkers blinking to the side. You need to gotta micro those Colossi back to make sure they stay away from the Hydras. Let the Stalkers do the damage. Great force fields going down here from Hero, but the Corruptors trying to target down those Colossi as Hero is trying to target down the Corruptors. One Colossus is still alive, and Revival is going to have to retreat back.
No sentries are left. Only a single Colossus. Once Revival gets some more Roaches and Hydras on the field.
Can't engage the spines.
Yeah, I think Hero has got to be a little bit worried because he doesn't have those key force fields available. His Colossi count has shrunken. He's got 2 more. He's got 1 more rally now, 2 more in production. He knows that Revival has a greater economy, so he's trying to keep the pressure on before Revival can rebacks.
He was able to deny that base at the bottom side of the map once again, sending Zealots in that direction. Great play there from Hero, again, known for being absolutely everywhere with his units. Spinecrawler still desperately trying to hold the Stalker Immortal Colossi army. No more Corruptors being added on here, so as far as a response to the Colossi, I'm not sure if they necessarily exist. A Hive has never been made, I don't think, here from Revival, but look at this, Revival coming forward. Not a lot of sentries left, so force fields aren't going to be huge in this battle. A Guardian Shield being deployed. Hero forced to turn around and engage his Corruptors, taking out those Colossi. The Stalkers blinking back, leaving the Immortal behind, trying to target down the Corruptors, protect those Colossi. Good control here from Hero, but does Revival have enough to punch through?
Oh, Fungal lands down on the Stalkers. The Corruptors all focused down so quickly by Hero. And Revival, very few Roaches left, almost all Hydras. Very difficult to engage that army with the 2 Colossi still alive, wanting to get a few more Infestors and Corruptors out on the field. Revival, though, he's looking to just keep Hero focused on rebuilding army. If Hero can't rebuild a 4th base, notice now his main is mined out. Yeah. His natural is very low. Once his natural mines out, he'll be on 1 base economy, and that's very difficult to actually utilize his production structures off of a single mining base.
Hero has to make something happen. Revival has been on 4 bases for quite a long time. Of course, Hero's been doing a good job of denying that base at the bottom, but Hero still needs to set up a 4th. That's why he's escorting this probe with his entire army to the right-hand side of the map. Now, this is where Neoplanet SC is going to start getting very tricky. There's 2 pathways, one at the top, one at the bottom. Right now, Hero at the bottom location, Revival at the top. Looks like they might try to meet in the middle here, going toward this gold base. Hero thinking better of it, going to back away. Feel like that's probably a wise decision.
The middle section is fairly wide open, and it's totally covered in creep. Not an ideal engagement spot for Hero. He wants to back up. Revival, if Revival chases him up the ramp.
Stalker being by the Mothership Core.
Oh, no, the Mothership Core going to be taken out there. Very smart Revival not to up the ramp, but he's going to go up now. The sentries aren't in position. The force fields aren't there quite yet. Revival has a good spread.
The Colossi.
Yeah, he's just going to back away. He forced out 5 force fields, backs away. That's a great job of Revival.
He's going to try to engage here. The Corruptors on the left-hand side, the Colossi on the right-hand side. Good position here for Hero, but the Hydras and Roaches trying to crush through. Great force fields here from Hero. The Corruptors targeting down the Colossus. The Stalkers getting picked at by the Hydras and the Roaches. Fungal's going down in the army as well. Hero backing away, and both players looks like they're wanting to back away from that fight.
Revival, again, making more and more Corruptors. It's really favoring the Corruptors to deal with Colossi as opposed to Vipers. Interesting choice there, but it may just work.
A Hive, yeah.
Under sheer weight of numerical advantage. He's got those Infestors to lock down the Stalkers, prevent their micro. Hero needs to hold this 4th base, but the creep is right at the doorstep of that location.
Also sending some Zealots to the bottom right-hand side of the map, looking to go towards that bottom base. Again, he's been able to deny that over and over again. That's a very important base for Revival. Always wants to stay 1 base ahead of his opponent. He hasn't spotted those Zealots just yet, so those can do a little bit of damage. Hero, all he's focusing on right now is protecting this base on the right-hand side, and of course, again, going after his opponent's economy.
Zealots taking it forward. The Revival realizing that maybe a spot of weakness. Building Spinecrawlers, they're not yet built. His army has to back up and take down these Zealots. That's going to give Hero the opportunity to move forward into the middle of the map. As the Zealots are being cleaned up, he can push the creep back. Creep so important to these engagements.
Corruptors motioning forward here, threatening those Colossi. The Stalkers willing to go forward. Watch out for the Fungal. He's going to blink out of there. Of course, the Fungal being a projectile means it's a little bit easier than a Wings Liberty to dodge those things. Another Fungal trying to go down.
Revival's got to be careful. That's such a narrow way to engage through. The sentries could cut his army in half easily if he tries to go over that pass.
So Hero able to get this 4th base off. A lot of probes mining in that location. But look at this, peeling away some units to the top side of the map. He's going to try to be aggressive towards the 3rd base. Let's see how Hero reacts to this.
Hero's observer sees Revival's army is small. He's going to push over this pass. Says, you know what, I can engage part of your army at a time. Revival motioning aggressively. Hero not sure where the rest of the forces are. Now he knows they're at the top. He has to go to defend that. But he may be stuck in a sandwich.
Corrupt is coming forward. Such a tactical game here. Revival coming in from the north, coming in from the bottom, going for a cost-efficient game. Corrupt is going to try to target down these Colossi. The Stalkers desperately trying to fend them off. Great force fields here from Hero, and Hero's going to last.
Revival has to back away. Corruptors all being taken out. Yet again, 10 more Corruptors in production for Revival. Hero that fourth is completely stabilized, adding more cannons, and he's got to be feeling confident now that he has a very strong army and a decent economy behind it.
10 more Corruptors in production, Greater Spire on the way, but Hero hitting right now. The Infection's coming forward, trying to throw down the Fungals, but no anti-air here, not much of it here in this composition as far as dealing with the Colossi. The Roaches and Hydras trying to come forward, but Hero has a commanding supply lead, 171 to 140, taking out this fourth base. The drones running for their lives. The Stalkers gonna try to blink forward to deal with that, but still 3 Colossi in this composition. Revival gonna lose that middle base.
Oh man, Revival, every engagement, the Corruptors being dismelted by the Stalkers and then the Colossi doing the job they want to do. Hero's control has been spectacular. Now he's moving in towards the bottom. If he can take out this base, that may be the killing blow he's looking for.
Gotta watch out for the Fungals. Such a stressful game. There go the Fungals. The Corruptors coming forward, targeting down the Colossi. Hero blinking to the side to target down the Corruptors, but it looks like the Colossi will be able to outlast the Corruptors. It's going to be very close indeed. The Stalkers targeting those guys down, and Hero, again, he's going to stay alive here, pushing forward towards his opponent's natural expansion, and Revival is running out of answers. There's the GG. Hero taking the 3-2 advantage. He is 1 win away from being your WCS America champion. He lost the first 2 games in this best of 7, and he has just won 3 in a row.
Beautiful game by Hero, showing exactly how to play against Roach, Hydra, Corruptor. The force field micro, every engagement was absolutely spot on. The Stalkers always focusing those Corruptors. This guy is an absolute beast. 3 in a row. Can he do 1 more and take the series 4-2?